And welcome back to my mobility scooter adventures. This video I have been requested by friends and subscribers to post. It is one I made some time ago regarding the electrical supply emergency code and why power may be restricted and rationed in your area. So sit back, enjoy, make notes and have a cup of coffee and biscuits whilst watching. And welcome back to my mobility scooter adventures. In this episode I take a look at the electrical supply emergency code. This is probably the most important video you'll watch, telling you when you may have power cuts and when you'll have power. And in this series I'll be looking at what you can do to prepare for this. So here comes the video. Welcome back to my mobility scooter adventures, and in this new series called Should Disaster Come, I look at being prepared for any eventuality that may happen around the grid going down. What is the grid going down? Power cuts, loss of water, loss of gas. Are you prepared? Are you a prepper? The answer may surprise you, as you'll find out in this series. So let's look at the ESEC document made by the Department for Business, Energy and Industry, otherwise known as the Electrical Supply Emergency Code. So this document, made by the government, is designed to ensure fair access to power for people living in the United Kingdom is achieved. So everyone has a fair amount of power and a fair number of disconnections. So what do you need to know about this document, and do you want to know when you may get a power cut, at what time, what day, and for how long? We'll find out in this series, Should Disaster Come, and are you a prepper? So let's dive straight in to this document. So as we can see, this document is a table. Looks rather complicated with all these numbers, letters and grid, but it is quite simple. You may be surprised to learn. So the first thing you will need to do is discover your load letter. What is a load letter? It is a letter that is issued to you and your area for power, and to be able to work out when you will receive power cuts and, more importantly, have a power supply, you need to know your load letter. So let's have a look. So let's zoom in and we'll go down to Monday. So as you can see, we have a graph there. We got numbers 1 through to 8, and this is the period of when your power will be off. So if your letters E, which mine is, it'll be E1 and say E6 will be your disconnections for the day. So we look at number 1. That tells us the time is 30 minutes past midnight to 03:30 in the morning. And next one could be, say for instance, 18:30 to 21:30 as well. So as we know our letter and we know the number, we'll know when we can expect power cuts. So we look down this document, we can see our load letter for this part of the world is E. So E, we go backwards on this one. and we can see it's E4. So 4 is 9:30 in the morning to 12:30 in the afternoon. So we know on Monday we're going to have a power cut at that time because we're in a level 1, and these numbers across the top are the level. It starts from level 1 all the way through to level 18. We'll look at the levels a bit deeper later on in this video. So we know our load letter, which is E, and I'll use E as an example throughout this document. And we can see, looking at level 1, we go down to Tuesday. We can see we got 1 on Tuesday at 03:30 to 03:30 hours. So I think I got it wrong, so I'll just double check that. So I'll pass midnight to 3:30 in the morning. We'll have a power cut. Go down again. We got another letter E, and that's in period 7. So 18:30 to 21:30. So I'm afraid you're not able to watch your favourite soaps on TV. And we keep going down this document for the rest of the week, and we can see, going down this document, there is no other letter E. So we know for the rest of the week, we've got power. So now, the situation has deteriorated a bit. It's getting colder, more people are turning on their heating. So the government decide to go to a level 2. So now, more people turn on their heating. So we have now moved from level 1 to level 2. And as you can see, the letters are also changed. So on a level 2, we now have no power at 3:30 in the morning to 6:30 in the morning. And then we can see the rest of the day we're okay. Tuesday, we keep going down, look for E. And now, on a Tuesday, it has moved to the afternoon, 12:30 to 15:30. So you'll be able to watch the soaps on a level 2, what you couldn't do on the level 1. And we continue down through the list. And then we see on a Wednesday, we've got a power cut at period 8, which is 21:30 to half midnight. And we continue down, keep looking for the letter E. And on Sunday, we can see we've got 2. So we jump from 3 power cuts to 4 power cuts in the week, or rationing of power, the government would like to call it. So 3:30 to 6:30 on a Sunday. Not really going to affect us that much. Then we got one 18:30 to 21:30. Bear in mind this could be winter when it's long dark nights, and it will get dark probably from around 4 p.m. or 1600. So bear that in mind for later in the series. So now it's getting colder, and it has been escalated to a level 3. So again, your letters change and you'll have more letters. So we go down the box now in level 3, looking for our letter E. So there it is. We're now on period 6 on a Monday. Keep going down, looking for E. On Tuesday, we now got period 3. And going down to Wednesday, we're looking for an E. Got Q, no. So Wednesday, we're okay. We've got no power cuts, so everything's fine. Thursday, fine. Friday, no power cuts. Saturday, we got a power cut. And Sunday. So go to level 4, we do some 4, 3, so we go to 4, and this time Monday is clear. Tuesday is clear. Wednesday we got 1, early hours of the morning, we got 1, midday to early afternoon, and keep going down through this, you get the picture. And we zoom across to another letter now, so we go up to another period. Let's jump to 14, that one. So we can see on 14 we got a power cut in the evening, we got one on Tuesday, and as you can see it goes on and on and on. So as you can see from this document, quite complex as well. So now we know our letter, we've understood the period. So now we need to look at the tables. So the tables are quite easy to understand. So again, we E. So we know our letter. So we go across to E, go up, period 4, which was it 9:30 to 12:30? So as you can remember these time slots, your 3 8-hour power cuts. So 3 times 8 is 24, or 8 times 3 is 24. And this is what level 1 power cut looks like. So your black dots are times when you're without power. So we'll move on to level 2, a bit more black, but still plenty of power. And at this level, you just need to know when you've got no power, in case you have to change meal times around. And as we get further on, level 3, see a bit more black, and let's jump a few levels. So now things have got a bit more serious, and escalated from level 3 to a level 5. That one, as you can see, a lot more black. Yeah, so you do need to plan a bit more. So we can see our letters E. As you can see there, Monday, we've got 1, 2, 3 power cuts. And 3 power cuts on Tuesday. Wednesday we're okay, Thursday we're okay as well. So it has got cold. A lot more people have been turning on their power, cooking more electric, and our power station has gone offline. So the government has to jump to level 10. And as you can see, a lot more black. So now we're at level 10. You're not having to think, I haven't got power, or there's no power. You start to look at, when do I have power? So, yeah, you look at it. So we've got power from midnight to 3 in the morning. So, yeah, you got power later on in the day. That one. So, you're able to cook something, boil some flax then. So, not much of a problem. You may have to change a few things around. But overall, that one, careful management, you'll be okay. But things start to deteriorate. Some more power stations fall off. It gets colder. Or there's an heat wave, and people are turning on the air conditioning and fans, because that takes a lot of power as well. And now we can see there's more black and white. So this is where you have to be quite disciplined in your approach, and do not think of it as I have no power. You think of it as I've got power at. Remember that, always look at this is I've got power at, then it's not so stressful. So we're looking at E again. So yeah, we can still cook meals around any time of that day, a late evening meal. And a few days you may have to change stuff around, but start to look at it is, when have I got power? You may have to put the washer on to come on overnight, to wash your pots, to wash your laundry, and so on and so forth. So now the government has declared level 14, that one. Now, as we can see, not much white, but still keep thinking, when do I have power? Is, well, and this is where you start have to be more of a prepper. So, one day, no power during the day. So, what you might have to do is stay up to go midnight and boil your flask at midnight. So, you got hot water for the daytime. So, look at it as I can boil my flask and have hot water ready for the day. Is also look at it that way. Always look at it as I've got a white box on this day at this time. What can I do? Is also boil your water. Have a cooked meal. As well there. You got a meal time around the middle of the day. So boil your water, have a cooked meal. Again, there early evening. You let it boil your water, get a warm meal then. Again, you might have to do things in the evening, put your washer on then, and your dishwasher, so at least your pots get washed and your clothes. Have a good meal in the morning there, because you got power early evening, and so on and so forth. And during these times of no power, turn your phone off, because after a few hours, the cell phone's not going to work. Well, so let's have a look at when things get a bit worse. So, we moved up to a level 16 now, and we're still at a E, because that's our district, as you can see. E, Monday, no power. Tuesday, no power. And only one slot on a Wednesday. So, why have your phone turned on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday to this time? You're just wasting your battery of your phone. And the cell phone networks will probably last 30 minutes, if you're lucky, 2 to 4 hours. And if everyone starts making phone calls during that time, that battery is going to die. And if you start surfing the internet and Facebooking, your battery's going to die on your phone. You could be using more power up on the cell phone network, so don't do that. Use text messages and keep voice calls to an absolute minimum. Therefore, you're protecting your own battery and the battery of the cell phone network in case it's needed for important phone calls. And there is a probability when it gets to like this, unless you are a registered user to use it in an emergency, like a government official, you might not be able to even get a cell phone to work as well. So, yeah, turn your data mode off on your phone, turn off background refresh, turn Wi-Fi off, and only use text messages and phone calls. So, going back to a traditional phone. And this is when it comes in very important, because as you can see now, at level 17, we have to be very disciplined and still think at this, at level 17, we still got power as well. So we still at E, go across, you can boil water at that time, you might want to stay up and have a hot meal, because the schools are going to be closed, because there'll be no way to be able to operate safely without power. And especially if the pumping stations stop, there'll be no water for the toilets and sink. And if a school or nursery hasn't got running water, they cannot open. It's unhygienic. It is, well, and we've got some power then, middle of the day, so use that dot there, white dot, to cook a meal, boil water. And again, a late evening meal. And look at this as, when do I have power? I have power here. Do not think of it as OMG, 3 days without power. Look at it. Look forward to having power on Thursday, Friday, Saturday and Sunday. Keep it positive, because now things have got very dire, and we're at level 18. And if you look at this level 18, what do you see? No white, no power. So going back to this makes you look very fortunate and lucky. Even going back to the days of a level 15, that looks luxury compared to a level 17, and even better to level 18. This means level 18, things have got bad. The power stations have failed. For whatever reason, there's no power. It could be it's been used too much, it's failed. Gas supply's been cut off, so gas power stations can't go. There could have been an accident at a nuclear power plant, so that can't provide power. And you'd like to be in it for the long haul, yeah? What are you going to do? This happens in the summer when it's long days. If it happens in the winter, you've really got a base down in one room. So you have a base room, put a blanket up at the windows, blankets over the doors, keep the heat in one room. And yeah, this is where your camping stove will come in handy. A sleeping blanket for children. If you go camping, put the tent up in the room, make it an adventure. Is well like camping indoors. You have to make it fun and an adventure when it gets to this. And if you make it a game, the children not panic as much or worry. Is well, so you're looking at other means of light, wind up torches, battery powered torches. Batteries will come very expensive and scarce, so think about having a good supply of batteries. Head torches, so both your hands are free, because if you're disabled and using your 2 crutches to get around, you can't hold a torch. You won't be able to hold a lantern, and if you're in a wheelchair, you still got to use both hands to move around. So an head torch is very good because you got both your hands free. Is well, and if you got a young infant, you need to have a way of eating their milk, which we'll look at in other episodes of ways of, apologies about that, ways of cooking, eating water, and how you go about water conservation and water safety. And in episode 2, I asked the question, are you a prepper? So the information links used in this video are on screen. Now, the first link is where to find out where there's power cuts. This link, put in your postcode and it will tell you your load letter. Where to find the documents used. For this information, I recommend printing it out, laminating it and keeping it in a safe place. and other important documents you may not have access to if the power should go down. So this episode was recorded on the iPhone 14 Pro Max. The DLZ creator was used for voiceover and production, and software used for editing was Final Cut Pro. So don't forget to consider leaving me the thumbs up and consider subscribing, and see you in the next episode. This episode brought to you by My Mobility Scooter Adventures.